Fancy. The poem is about fancy in our lives because pleasure or happiness is not very present. When there is a touch of fancy, pleasure melts like drops of rain. Consequently, the speaker wishes that imagination is needed in our lives, which can add joy and happiness to our personal conditions. Summer joy is spoiled by use and the happiness. Spring fades with blossoming. Autumn is full of fruits and abundance in morning dew, and the speaker craves to taste the fruits. The life on earth is soundless, cold, when the night meets the moon. According to the poem, it celebrates that image, nation, as being better than reality because reality fades or becomes boring. It is the monotony of life or reality that makes life boring. The delights of summer weather and the fresh flowers and the bells of May creates imagination and fancy. The same activities happen day in, day out. The world of imagination never fades, and you can be everywhere and with anyone you like in your imagination and fancy. Your imagination sets you free from the monotony of life and brings joy and happiness in the line. And such joys as this she will bring. Let the winged fancy roam. Pleasure never is at home. Here he talks about the monotony of life, the pain that is inherent in life. But human beings can escape the monotony and pain of life through fancy and imagination. The poem handles the pleasure that one can enjoy through the exploration of one's imagination. The poem indicates that reality cannot fully satisfy human want or desire. Pleasure derived from reality does not last long. But reality that emanates from imagination is eternal. The seasons of summer, spring, and autumn all have their temporary pleasures, which are beautiful and unique and specific. These seasons give pleasure, which is short-lived, because the fruits that they produce fade, and because of the feelings of weariness. The poet also indicates that winter is the true season of pleasure, whereas it is also the season of hardship. Imagination or fancy can be provoked by sitting near the winter fire in the evening to travel to places. The poet focuses on the pleasures offered by the various seasons, such as delights of summer, daisies, sounds of birds, and snakes emerging from their underground holes. Pleasures of reality are gone immediately. They are enjoyed. Even the beauty of the most beautiful woman fades when she is sighted daily. Monotony. All her beautiful body features lose their sensual appeal due to monotony. But the beloved image created by imagination will retain her beauty and maintain her charm. It is more rewarding to have an imaginative lover than to have a real one, whose beauty and charm will fade. Such imaginary woman will have charming eyes as those of Proserpina before her heart was won and she was abducted by Pluto, the god of the underworld. The imaginary lover's waist will also be as beautiful as that of Hebe, the goddess of youth or prime of life. The pleasure of reality is short-lived, like the bubbles form when rain falls. The speaker advises that human beings should not try to suffocate their imagination of fancy, but let it roam freely. Let them allow themselves float in their world of imagination and create fantasy in their heads and in their minds. The winged fancies should be allowed to roam freely abroad, and we will realize that it can provide human beings the pleasures that cannot be provided at home. The subject matter of this poem is the pleasure derived from imagination. The poem has a sensual appeal as it presents the things that appeal to our senses. Nature is highly glorified in this poem through the seasons, birds, snakes, and other creatures, or the ripe corn that falls to the ground. The poem's mood is that of jubilation. That pleasure derived from imagination lasts longer. It is also that of melancholy because the pleasures derived from reality are short-lived.